welcome to Cooking with Ral, hashtag Ral Cooks, where cooking with love provides food for the soul. So this segment is finally here. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know I always cook on Snapchat. You guys loved it so much and you guys told me to bring it on YouTube, so here it is. I hope you guys like it. And if this is your first time on my channel, please do not forget to subscribe, click the like button, because with the likes, that's how people are going to get to see the video. We're going to pour ourselves a glass of wine. So cheers. Get yourself some wine. And alright, so now we can officially get started. So basically what we're making today, it's called plantain lasagna. And if you guys pronounce it plantain, I know it's always a battle, but I say plantain. It's basically a collection of everything that I love. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's savory, and it's very, very hearty. Before we get to that, what you will need to make the plantain lasagna are, at the end of this, I'm going to put everything that I use down below in the description box, so be sure to click on it if you're confused. So the first thing you want to do, of course, when you're cooking, wash your hands, make sure it's very clean. And then we're going to go ahead and wash these. We're going to peel them and slice them. Basically, you want to peel like, you know, like you would normally peel any plantain. You want to slice them. And we're going to start right here. Just take your time slicing them because you don't want to mess up the shape. We're going to slice like so. And then we're going to go in again. So you want to slice it about 1 inch thickness, so that way when you fry it, it does not frail on you. So now we are slicing the last one, and it will be ready to be fried in a bit. And we're going to move on to frying them in a bit, but before we do that, we're going to wash the ground beef. To pour in a little bit of vinegar. It's a tiny bit. I just run water through it in a colander. I just rinse it out, and I just break it apart. I just let that drain. And we're going to move on to chopping up the cilantro. I already washed the cilantro. I'm going to go ahead and and we're going to be using this in the salad as well as the ground beef. So I'm actually going to cut up a whole lot. And when I wash it, I like to leave this part on because it helps me hold it together. Because if I cut it open, I find that everything just kind of falls apart and it's harder to chop up. Okay. You don't want it to be too tiny, but also you do not want it to be very chunky. So I've washed this as well, and I'm just going to chop it up. And again, take your time. This, I don't want it to be too tiny. I actually want it to be semi-chunky. Transfer this to the plate. We have the onions, we have the ground beef and the plantain, and we're going to move on to the stove now to fry up the plantain and saute the beef. To transport our stuff to the stove and ready to be sauteed. And I have this right here because I'm trying to catch all the loose water. So I'm just waiting for the pans to get hot. We're going to go ahead and pour the oil in there, and to fry up the plantain, I'm using the bigger pan. I'm just going to pour some oil. Be generous because of course you want the plantain to fry nicely. For this one, I'm going to be sauteing the ground beef in it, so again, be generous with the oil. So we're going to let that heat up on medium heat because olive oil burns really fast, so you want to be careful. Just take your time, and while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle a little bit of salt on the plantain because I do like my plantain a little bit on the salty side. So I'm going to use my salt and just sprinkle it ever so lightly. Okay, and just do one of those, you know. If you're Nigerian, you know the importance of salt on plantain. It's hot, so we're just going to place this. It's a little too hot, so I'm going to reduce the heat so that way it is not burnt, because I want it to be nice and brown but not burnt, because you don't want burnt plantain. And also I forgot to chop this on camera, so I chopped it off camera real quick. And these are red onions. I really like red onions over yellow because I feel like it has more flavor. The oil is not hot enough, so it's not sizzling, but that's okay. I'm just going to turn the heat up a little bit more. So the plantain, like I said, is currently frying. I'm going to check how it's doing. All right, it's still taking its time. And looking so good. And we're going to take that out. We're gonna do the same thing and fire a second batch. It's looking lovely. Remember, medium heat, not too high, so it does not instantly burn. The green onions. And let that sizzle. The red onions and the green onions are nicely sauteing. And these are all the spices that I introduced at the beginning. And we're going to go in and just dump it all out. Look how colorful that is. This is like my favorite part of cooking. And just stir it up. Stir it all the way up. Use a lot more ground beef than this if you like. Honestly, it's all about preference. So just do that. Okay. And we're going to let this cook down for about a minute or two. And I'm actually going to go in and cover it up just so the ground beef cooks a lot faster. And yeah. So when you're taking this out, remember, be careful because they are fragile because they're obviously long. So just carefully. So we have all of our plantain fried up here, and then this is nicely, it looks so good. And it smells amazing. All right. We're just going to let this do its thing. Now the beef is very well cooked. And of course, feel free to taste your meal. I like to taste it. Tastes amazing. If not, you can add more spices according to your own desire. So now we're going to throw in some of the cilantro. And then for the garlic, we're actually going to go in and throw in a little bit. And basically what I do, honestly, I peel my garlic, I put it in a plastic, and I smash it with a frying pan, a wine bottle, a knife holder, whatever you want. I don't really have a garlic smasher, and I like it that way. I don't know why. I just feel like it's more authentic. We're going to pour in the marinara sauce. I just love this. This looks so good. My goodness. Don't worry if you make a mess. You can just clean it up. And then pour in the rest. Just stir it in and let that boil for about a minute. And we're going to move into the lasagna stacking part of this dish. This has simmered for 2 minutes now. It looks amazing. And we're going to go ahead and stack the lasagna part. You know, now to stack it, we're going to spray a little bit of vegetable oil to grease the pan so that way nothing sticks or burns. And basically you just take your plantain. I'm going to take the longest ones first, and I'm going to place them at the bottom. So this is like puzzle piecing. You want to take your longest ones so that way it coats the bottom nicely. And don't worry if there are some that are broken, that's okay. And you're going to top that right on top of the plantain. I'm already like drooling. It's so good. And this is my mozzarella cheese, and I'm going to lay that over top. I'm going to add on plantain over top. Okay. The last set. And just sprinkle that over top. Careful, don't sprinkle the cheese on the edge of the pan, so that way when it starts to melt, it's not going to bubble over. So just sprinkle it. Alright. We're going to take a little bit of the cilantro and just sprinkle that over top just to garnish it. I like to go over again and just spray the top. And we're going to bake this for about 20 minutes. So we're just going to pop it into the oven. So it's been 20 minutes now, and so we're going to grab it. And of course, mine's all is necessary. You have the plating, and I also have the salad that I'll be pairing it up with. And so good. And I'm so excited. Literally just, like when I say this is so hearty, it's so filling, and is a plantain lover, cheese lover, meat lover favorite. And I'm just gonna scoop that out. Look at all that cheese, looks so good. I'm just going to plate it right on there. So presentation is always key. So you want to take a wet paper towel or a wet cloth and just wipe down your plate. Because if your food looks good, then you want to eat it. And this is the Montecito salad. I have a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of black pepper. So this I do very loosely because I like spicy food. So we're going to shave some cheese over top, and this is the Pecorino Romano cheese. Shave it on top of the salad first. Over top the lasagna, if you please. Top yourself of some wine. That's always necessary. So now for the taste part of this meal. It's really good. You can pair it up with a Merlot. You can pair it up with a Shiraz. You can definitely make the dish with very ripe plantain. But if you want it semi-sweet like myself, then you can make it with a semi-ripe plantain. That's it on the episode of Cooking with Ral, #RalCooks. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. And I'm going to go stuff my face right now because this is so good and I'm so hungry. So, until next time, I'll see you guys in my next episode. So, bye guys. Bye. Bye guys. 1,000 kisses. Mwah. Thank you so much.